Bull Creek and Southside Park is about 500 feet, in both parks.
All right, court discussing consider increasing project schedule and staffing.
Go for precinct one.
What do they have?
A lot of road damage.
Yeah.
Really a lot. Okay. From,
All that rain. there was-
Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah,
okay.
he requested, emergency part-time people for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They said they were gonna need to, revisit in a personnel policy, but he came and got with me and with Misty. There's not currently a policy that covers that, but, the roads were basically inaccessible, so kind of
Gotcha.
just said, let's get it done.
Yeah, okay. All right. We'll look at that too. I said, we'll look at that too, for the policy.
Well, it probably wouldn't have done it with the exception of they being off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Yeah.
And they all had plans,
Right.
so
Okay.
that's what happened.
And we have some out on FMLA, so that also created a shortage.
All right, anything else under increasing project?
Oh, they did accept the receipt of CTIF 8. So it's been processed now, it's been moved on to the next step, which is their financial people to send up the money. So we should be getting that pretty soon. And that was over, it should be about $561,000, something like that. We should get back in reimbursement on that.
County Road 2173 shut down until we can get it fixed. Just go out to drive, we can work on it.
Putting the turbines up, precinct 3.
Just rock the roll. All right. New business, court to consider a resolution to nominate members to the President's Board of Directors. A nomination. All we need is one. The nomination is Tommy Henderson. Thanks for reaching out to him. Didn't even think about it, but he was a great choice.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. He was, I talked to him twice before.
Yeah.
And he was more than glad to. So, I make a motion that we nominate Tommy Henderson to the appraisal district board of directors.
Second. All in favor?
Yeah, I've got a stack there for you to sign on copies.
Court to consider discussing and consider moving funds received by the airport to Texas class capital expenditures.
That was the funds that we certified last time, and I just need the court's approval to put that into the airport Texas class fund for the runway.
Make a motion to move the funds received by the airport to Texas class capital expenditures.
All in favor? On the agenda, put it out before, otherwise they were gonna put that here, and I remember that we need to look burned in. Court to discuss and consider an athletic field use agreement with the Snyder Independent School District. So I think they're gonna discuss it Thursday, so we wanted to go ahead and run this by y'all before. If you'll look at that agreement, it's different from what it was before in that, the suggestion from the school was to pay $2,500 per field for the months that they actually use it. They said they only use it about a quarter of the year, maybe into June on occasion, and so prorate per day, and if they go into June. A lot of the same things are still in there. They would still do the final preparations. We would require them to have liability insurance during the period of time, which is $1 million. I've got that corrected over here. Didn't have that information until I got it from Angela a little while ago. Girls softball still uses the fields, but they would need to coordinate with Snyder Girls Softball. Instead of us doing all the coordinating, the school would do all the coordinating. That's the major thing, I believe. There were a couple of things that Lance brought up that were in the original. Lance is the one that suggested the Snyder Girls Softball Association coordination because they sometimes start as earlier in the season, in April, May. Also, one of the things the school requested is that that's considered their home fields during the seasons, since they don't own any fields, they would like Moffett and Case to be considered their home fields.
Weren't they gonna pay for half the fertilizer?
That was one of the requests, but instead of breaking it all out that way, this is what the school has come back and said, suggested $2,500 a month per field.
And we still pay the fertilizer bill.
Yeah.
The water bill.
And this basically is just a lease agreement that they lease the fields. We still maintain everything and do everything else other than the final preparations. But since we own the fields, we do all the water and all of that.
That's more we get out of it now.
So if it's 4 months, it's about 20,000. If it goes over, it's gonna be a little more. I think we're getting maybe. I don't know that we've actually gotten any money from the school.
Nope.
I know at one time
We get it for the payment on their part right now that they do for the fertilizer or whatever, but we don't get anything for them to use our fields. That's more than what we get.
So we're like gonna pay $2,500 for the softball field or something.
It's 2,500 for softball and 2,500 for Moffett.
That's the way I read it.
5,000 a month. Well,
Yes, sir.
61.
Correct.
Believe it's something.
Money's just what it is.
Yeah, Lance looked at it, but he was good with it. He did, like I said, he did, suggest a few things, that was one of them. One of the others was, it's not in here, he requested that something be taken out. The striping. In the old one, the chalk was paid for by the county. He suggested that they supply their chalk since they'll be using the fields for that time, but the rest of the time we supply the chalk. It was Scurry County Parks agrees to supply field marking chalk for facilities for the period of scheduled games. And he said that since this is for their games, they should provide their own supplies.
Well, that's why I was asking, because like the painting for the field, that's only for them too.
Yeah, and then I talked to Mr. Rao about the painting of the field and the overseeding and all of that. That's not something that Snyder ISD is necessarily requesting.
Yeah, I think it was the coach that was on that. Okay.
So during 4 months, roughly, they're gonna do the mowing.
No, we still do all the maintenance. Yeah, we'll still, like number 9 says, we do the mowing of all the grasses,
That's
dragging.
where we
Yeah, that's us.
They don't have the personnel to do it, they just really have enough to do the schools.
Right.
I'm just asking.
What I was thinking, if we're getting 20,000 out of this, that's something that can go directly back into the fields as we, each year. Like the chain link looks horrible, all the piping looks terrible right now, it needs to be repainted. Big green monster back there needs to be repainted, you know, sometimes that can go back into it.
So do we need to wait and see what they say tomorrow night, or?
I think we could go ahead and approve it, and if they approve it, then we could both sign it.
They're not gonna actually, they're just bringing it up tomorrow night, but he can act on it. So it'll be the next meeting before they act on this.
Okay.
That's what I was told.
Okay,
Yesterday.
okay,
It's just for like information only.
Gotcha.
Thursday.
okay.
So
Yeah, let's move on.
I agree with it.
Okay. And if, I'll go to the meeting Thursday, and if they have anything that they want to change, then I can certainly bring that back to the court.
So you want to prove it like that here? Wait and see how
I mean, if we can get a general consensus, that would work instead of a vote on it, and then, you know, if they have a consensus, then we can, after we both have consensus, then we can both vote.
Okay.
It's kind of what I'm looking at this point.
I don't have an issue with it.
Okay.
Just no action though on our part.
Right, of course, discusses, yeah, that's not it, that's the wrong one, we've never done that, of course, we discuss, consider looking the burn ban. Got mine, got mine, talked to Nathan, Nathan's good with the burn ban, Carly would like to do a bonfire
Fire Thursday.
Thursday.
I just need a reminder that currently, southern part of the county, they've got this much rain. Just
Okay.
for your information.
Right, I'm going off the recommendation of.
Well, that's fine.
Fire
I
department.
think for the bonfire, they've already contacted, if the burn ban's lifted, they've already contacted Nathan Hines and Ben Poe. Ben will be there because
Yeah,
his kids go there, and Nathan will be out there, so it'll be a controlled burn.
That's what they do, hour or two.
I didn't know they would still do it.
We did one last year.
Easier to be prepared and have to call after about 15 miles.
Yeah, I found out about that on Friday, so that's why it's on.
Well,
Judge, I'll make the motion that.
It's on last minute.
I'll make the motion that we lift the burn ban.
All in favor? And it's not just for harm, it's at the recommendation of the fire. Oh yeah, we gotta go to budget amendments and line item transfer.
I don't have any line item transfers, but I do have 3 budget amendments. These are from moving, all 3 of these are moving funds from EMS Texas class, which y'all had already approved him to do, but these are the actual budget amendments doing it. So $36,066.42 going from EMS Texas class to the sheriff's capital line. This is for that dispatcher training and software system, that we will be reimbursed 15,000 of it back. That's why we're paying it out of the sheriff line. The next one is 15,979.91. This is for the Lucas FLD ProCare chest compression system that Jason Toller had spoke to y'all about the last court. And then the final one is $278,565, and this is to pay for that ambulance that he's had going on since October of 2021.
Motion to approve the budget amendments as presented.
All in favor? Okay. I'll get back to my agenda.
Pay the bills.
Yeah, you take care of it. Sounds pretty cool
Okay, the accounts payable, $711,073.72. That includes a check for $278,565 for the ambulance.
Make a motion to pay bills.
All in favor?
Make a motion we adjourn.
All in favor?
Really?
That's what I was trying to do earlier.
No, I was gonna say.
He didn't say anything, that's what he was about to do earlier.
Are you just having so much fun? You want to stay? I'm just sitting there looking. Okay. We're just gonna sit here.
I think our regular is 8 minutes. Yeah, the other day.
That's a pretty. Jeff's
I
out of here.
will call Tommy and tell him he's the winner of the chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So, do y'all have ones that,
I got
Is
one on my
Scurry
desk.
or-
I got one on my desk.
that you're local? Okay.
But it's not, the only problem is, it's not quid pro quo. So
Right.
We need to add, we're gonna make it equal value.
Okay, all right.
Our problem is we don't know what it's gonna cost, that
Right.
type of stuff, so
Right. Okay. All right. So we need to figure out what the cost is gonna be.
And then we can put that in.
Okay.
Resubmit it.
All right. You gonna figure the cost?
Right, if y'all are interested, and if not, just let us know that as well, and maybe we could option B, purchase millings from you or something.
Yeah, we can sell.
Oh, you can't
So
sell.
donated by the state.
Really?
here's your.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
Since we are government, it's kinda a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. They know. Sean, get price together. Maybe next week?
Huh?
Next week or
Next week,
next agenda or November?
November.
Okay.